Born and bred in Tuscaloosa, not raised in Baton Rouge. Didn't ride no wagon train to Norman or to Boone. They said I'd never make it, just a name they overlook. Now I'm burning up their game plans and ripping up their books. No 5-star shine, no silver spoon. I came up grinding on a Friday night moves. Now they feel me coming like a 4th down blitz. Got 'em talking sideways, throwing fits. But I must admit, I can't quit. 'Cause I'm the outlaw of college football. Ain't no...
Woo! That's right. Even though we renamed the channel, we're still the outlaws of college football. At least until this season's over. Yes, we renamed the channel the Common Sense Outlaws. But that's just so we can cover everything during the off season and maybe help get a bigger audience into the channel. But the main thing to talk about today is Ohio stank. Stank it up. They stank it up against those Miami Hurricanes down there in South Florida. I like to call them the Cuba Canes because there's so many damn Cubans living in Miami. It's almost like a third world country down there. But let's go ahead and see who's in the comment section tonight as we celebrate Ding Dong, the defending national champions, are dead. First batter up tonight is Thunder OU Center 527 as we end the end of this new year. By the way, this is something really special about this podcast. This is our 1,000th episode of Outlaw of College Football / Common Sense Outlaws. 1,000th. Happy New Year. USC chokes and Ohio stank loss. Happy New Year. That's right. See, because these Big Ten schools, they got them ranked in all these stats and these rankings and stuff and their defenses and offenses, but it's because they played each other. They've played each other. That's why they're ranked so high in these stats. Everybody tries to go back to, wow, Ohio stank beat Texas 14-7. Ooh. And we all know in reality that Texas was breaking in a new quarterback. But because his last name was Manning, everybody automatically assumed that he'd just be great out the gate. But even the great Peyton Manning had growing pains when he started at Tennessee. Same thing with Eli Manning at Ole Miss. So, who else is up in here? Since Thunder OU Center was the first batter up, we got John Ritchie in the house. Says Happy New Year. The Rhino's in the house with a fist bump. By the way, because Rhino is such a big donor to the program, as you know, you can see the donors down there. We did get remonetized. People have been asking me. So now you can actually super chat down there. I fixed the super chats. If you want to super chat the program and help keep the lights on, maybe let me buy some more shades that ain't so crimson colored. I've got my crimson colored shades on tonight because I know that Ohio Stank, who has scarlet red in their colors, is seeing red. And let me tell you another interesting stat, boys and girls. All of the bye teams, all of them. Let's go ahead and bring in Killer Breeze real quick. I'm going to do a real quick show tonight, by the way. I might have to get off here in about 15 minutes because I'm going to go in there and watch the ball drop. So, tradition between me and my wife for the New York ball dropping. What's going on, brother?
What's happening? What's happening?
Just to give everybody an interesting stat. Do you realize that the top 4 seeds, the teams with the byes are now 0-5? Ohio Stank has continued the tradition of being off for a month and losing your shit.
Yeah, that's that is that really that surprising? Is it really that surprising?
I figured Ohio Stank might break it, man, but shit, Miami is looking like that Miami team that we saw earlier in the year. They look like they've gotten a little healthy. By the way, there's another team like that that's gotten a little healthy. That that's really going to suck if the two top teams, the two King Dingalings from Big Ten, go down in the first round, or it was actually the second round. Right?
That's right. That's right. By the way, we got some of our good friends in the chat tonight. John, Crazy Anime Thunder, having a good time on New Year's Eve. Good to be with y'all tonight. Just chilling, man. Jesse asked to see if we want to do a quick live. We were out watching the fireworks, and anytime to come hang out with the Outlaw Posse is a good time for me. So, and when we get to talk about Tebow blowing another fourth quarter lead,
and guess what?
It's so
USC is a part of what conference? The Big Ten, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The Big Ten's been chirping and beating their chest because they've been winning all these bowl games that are like the NIT of college football. They don't matter anymore. We're losing. That's because Vanderbilt had players set out. LSU had players set out. They don't mean anything, man. You're just winning. You're actually just winning a scrimmage between third and fourth stringers sometimes. But when you get to the playoffs, that's when it matters. The only reason that Ohio State won last year, and I really believe this, is because Georgia's quarterback got injured in that SEC title game. Had he not got injured, Georgia probably would have beat Notre Dame and went on to beat Ohio State.
Well, I mean, it stands to reason. We're going to see, that's why I'm still pulling, I'm still hopefully the Crimson Nation left in the playoff takes care of business. And, if I'm Indiana, especially if I'm the Indiana fan base who's been running their mouth crazy, I mean, like crazy. If I'm Indiana fans and I just watched Ohio State, who, by the way, a lot of what you're patting yourself on the back is built on your win over Ohio State, your very slim margin win over Ohio State. That's what you've been beating your chest about. Well, it looks like Miami, the number 10 seed, just dog walked Ohio State for the most part. I mean, let's call it what it was. If it wasn't even close in the first half, yeah, Miami got it a little close in the third quarter, but Ohio State got it close in the third quarter, fourth quarter, but Miami pulled away. They won by 10, and they were the 10 seed.
I missed the first quarter, but they said Miami fumbled the ball down deep in the red zone in the first quarter. They probably should have been up on those guys, and then they shit the bed down there when they had a chance to get 3 points. They probably should have been up 24-0 at halftime.
That's 100% correct. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't really close. The score was a little misleading, even though they were comfortably ahead by 2 touchdowns at halftime. Yeah, man. If you're Indiana, what now? You according to you, everybody else was just spectators in this thing. This was all about the Big Ten. It was all about Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana. And, well, one of the 3 Musketeers just got skull dragged on national TV. So how confident are you now? I know you're not gonna be honest about it. You're not gonna be honest.
And didn't a lot of people like Notre Dame say that Miami didn't belong?
100%.
Same thing with Alabama. We don't belong either, right? And to tell you another interesting thing is that they beat their chest about quite profusely is they said, well, we're a 7-point favorite over Alabama. 7 points, man, that's a big deal. Well, guess what? Ohio State was a 9.5-point favorite yesterday. I think it came down a little bit today, but it was 9.5.
So what does that tell you? And that's what I was saying the last time we were on your show.
Miami not only beat them straight up, Miami covered the points for them. Beat them by 10.
That's what I was saying last time on your show. They're acting like Indiana fans, at least, are acting like just because they're 7-point favorites that means something. Like they're acting like, why are we even playing the game? Like we're the number 1 seed, we're the Big Ten champs. We beat Ohio State. Well, yeah, so did Miami. Texas came pretty damn close too, and Texas was nothing special this year. So,
It's
what?
gotten where the SEC, they've won a few of them, but it seems like the SEC schools, if they don't get in the playoffs, they just don't show up in the bowl games.
That's
I
right.
know that's a bad thing about our conference, but when they get in the playoffs, it's different. I mean, if Indiana loses, man, that means that the top seeds will be 0-6 since the inception of this playoffs. And then you got Georgia and Ole Miss and Oregon and Texas Tech. I could see Oregon beating Tech, and I could see Ole Miss upsetting Georgia. I mean, it could happen. An interesting matchup that might take place. Carson Beck may get to face his old team, the Georgia Bulldogs.
That's going to end up happening. And,
Georgia will break the streak of teams that have a bye. They're going to be the one to break the streak, the winless streak. The Georgia Bulldogs.
By the way, we got some OGs in the chat tonight, man. Sooner Cowboys is in the chat tonight. Rhino's in the chat. And of course, we got Thunder, who gets the Jockstrap Award for most support. I mean, Thunder's been here.
By the way, I don't know if you was in here when I said it, but I actually got the super chats to work now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
When you click on the super chats down there, if you want us to read your comment out above everybody else's, because we got a lot of comments coming in here, click on that little money dollar sign down there. Click on that, write your comment out, and then hit send. And make a small donation to the program if you can.
There you go.
By the way, also, this is our 1,000th episode. This is
episode 1,000 episodes. How about that?
On New Year's Eve, man.
1,000 episodes. How about that? That's pretty damn cool, man.
I didn't think I'd make it to 100.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well. By the way, we got 17 outlaw posse or 17 outlaws in the posse tonight. Y'all hit that, smash that like button. That helps us out. Let's see if we can't bump this crowd up.
Got us a new person in here that I haven't seen in here. Sam_442 old says, "Go Canes and Mule Shoe went down in flames, but the Horns won, so it ain't all good news. But Texas did help the SEC today by beating the Big Ten. If you're going to root for Texas, root for them against the Big Ten, I guess. Although 1989M is one of our great supporters to the program, he's a Michigan guy. I'm sure he's happy that Ohio State lost since Michigan lost.
Yeah, I'm sure. But it was awesome to see Ohio State. How soon do you think it's going to be before we start hearing Ohio State fans talk about Ryan Day needs to go? It won't be that long, dude. I guarantee it.
Well, his saving grace is that he finally beat Michigan this year. If he hadn't beat Michigan again, his ass would be gone.
They're not going to be happy with the way he got escorted out by the 10 seed tonight. Especially if Indiana wins, which I don't think is going to happen.
Well, the weather's supposed to be really bad. I don't know who that favors. I mean, Alabama's not a great running team. I would guess it would favor who's able to run the ball, and if that's the case, Alabama might be in trouble. So,
well, we'll see.
They also come up with another interesting stat today I heard on TV that I didn't know. It said that Fernando Mendoza does not like to dink and dunk that much. I thought he's a dink and dunker. But they say he likes to go downfield more. And if that's the case, he may have some issues, especially if it's raining like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
He may have some issues, especially having time to throw it with the LT Overton back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, I just like I said, man, I'm just praying that Indiana goes down. I expect it to happen. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think they're gonna run up against an SEC defense that everybody thinks they didn't look great because they played in the SEC. They played tough schools, man. I mean, they played tough programs. So I'll be curious to see. And if Indiana handles Alabama, I'll be the first one to give them credit. But I got to see it first. I ain't giving them dick until they prove it to me on the field.
Me and you talked about this a while back, when they invited him to the Heisman Trophy ceremony, I've never been impressed with Julian Sand.
No,
He was. They were in his grill all night. The Miami defensive players, them mugs are for real.
well, Julian Saint's big thing is his accuracy. That's what at least that's what everybody talks about first and foremost with him. And Miami seemed like the more physical team tonight. I mean, they were. Give it, you gotta give it to them. And they got to Julian Saint early, and they just clearly rattled him. What did they have? A 72-yard pick for 6, something like that.
That's not one of the most beautiful pick sixes I have ever seen. I've never seen anybody break on the ball like that before. It's almost like Brent Venables was over there stealing signs again for Miami or something.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
dude, that was like, whew. And it's like Ohio State was driving too. They were down at the 22-yard line. They were about to score.
Yeah.
Man, that was just a killer.
Yeah. Yeah. So they, like I said, man, I just, if you're Indiana, how do you feel tonight? You've been beating your chest mainly because you beat Ohio State as if Ohio State was unbeatable by anyone but you. And now here we are. Ohio State is out. That bye week, that time off, especially when they've been eating nothing but they just been eating rat poison this whole time. You can tell by just the Indiana podcast, just like the one we were looking at in your previous live stream. They're eating that rat poison by the bucket. I mean, they're just coming out of their ears and their nose. They're shoving so much of it in their mouths.
They're gonna have to do something about this playoff setup. These teams are. It's not really giving them an advantage being off for 4 weeks. Being off an extra week, I could see that being an advantage. But to be off 4 weeks almost, that's not an advantage, man.
No.
Because what happens is a team like Alabama, a team like Miami, they play, and then they get another week off, which is great. But that just adds another week to the team that they're supposed to face, man. It's just not a good thing for them, man. It's stupid the way we got set up. They're worried about competing against the NFL and they get over that. Make the NFL move all their games to Sunday. Don't be scared to play your games on Saturday against the NFL.
It's especially bad for a team that's never been there before. Like I said, man, they're just sitting back, just feeling real good about themselves this whole time. And everybody around them has been telling them how awesome they are and how, of course, we're winning. Indiana just decided they want to start winning. So that's what we're doing now. We're just winning.
Yeah. Did you hear that shit? That's what he said, too.
I know.
You quoted him word for word. That's what he said.
That's why I said it.
We just never wanted to win at football. That's what he said.
You know what's going on? We just Indiana's just decided they want to win. So Indiana's winning. Okay. And again, just like I was saying, you haven't won anything yet. Like, if you were smart, you would have shut your mouth and you would have waited until you actually won the big one, or at least got to the final game and had a couple of wins under your belt. In my opinion, you walked right into the trap of premature celebration, and that is never a good thing. Nobody wants to be premature anything, right? So certainly celebrating your wins before you stepped on the field, if history is any indication, it's going to be a bad night for you in the Rose Bowl, no matter what, whether or not.
Calvin just asked me if we got our monetization back. Yeah, we got our monetization back. I was telling everybody earlier that I figured out the super chat. If you want a super chat, click on that. Yeah, they do get a cut of it, but they only get I think it's 20% of it. So it'd still help us out, or help me out anyway, until I can afford to start paying somebody to be on here with me. But Johnny John said that was a sick ass pick 6. I went ahead and sent you an invite, Johnny Johns. If you want to be in here, I may have to break away from y'all for a little bit. I'm gonna go in there and watch the ball drop. for New York, and I might just leave it up and let you and Johnny Johns talk as long as y'all want. You decide to leave, text me so it's not just sitting there idle like it was last time.
You can send Johnny the link. I got a few more minutes in me. It's 10:40 over here. Are you on Eastern time zone?
I'm on Central.
So
but I watched the New York ball drop at 11.
Oh, you watch it at 11?
Yeah, because New York's on Eastern time.
Calvin Glover just hit you with a $10 donation. Thank you, Calvin. Appreciate that, dog. I think next time you probably want to do super chat so you can leave a comment. But if you put another comment up, well, I can't actually do it. But I'll read it. If you put a comment up, I'll make sure to read it.
Since I'm out of YouTube jail for just merely resharing Charlie Kirk TikTok videos,
yeah.
Now Calvin Glover is the first person to donate to me as I have been paroled. Let's go ahead and add the best damn Van Halen cover band member of all time, Johnny Johns, into his
By the way,
shirt on.
Highlight that comment by Sooner Cowboys. I asked Sooner Cowboy if there was any hope for next year, and he said he doesn't think so. He said what we were all feeling is that OU is just cursed, cannot win games in the playoff. And I asked him if there was any hope for next year. He said he doesn't think so, especially if he doesn't fire Joe John Finley and DeMarco, and needs to put Bill Beatonbow and Emmett Jones on the hot seat. And I can't really say that I disagree.
I'm not going to say anything else about that. I made a video today about the John Mateer situation and Michael Hawkins and stuff. I'm just telling them, man, people that's trying to wish John Mateer away, just think about the Dylan Gabriel shit.
No, I'm not talking about John Mateer.
Well, I'm just talking about the video I made today. Is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, we need. I mean, I think unless there's some better option out there, I haven't seen one yet. I think John Mateer coming back is our best option. Hey, I don't feel great about it, considering the way he played, but I do think he showed a steady improvement as that thumb got better and better. And I think, hopefully next year he'll be better. They could run a damn ball, they could help him out. If they could run the ball at all, it would help John Mateer out tremendously.
Well, I hope they don't.
I don't know how good Hatton is going to be, or whether what is how realistic is it for him to be a starting running back in the SEC as a true freshman?
Since we got Johnny Johns in here, he wanted to come in and chime in. You got something to add to the Ohio Stank misery?
Man, I was loving every minute of it. Like, I felt like going into these playoffs, like you had Ohio State, you have Georgia, you have Indiana as like your top tier, and then you got your Oklahoma, Alabama's, Ole Miss, guys like Miami. And for us, like, I guess someone called me an SEC homer the other day, and I'm like, damn, shit, I guess I am. My team's only been in the SEC for 2 years.
That feels good, don't it? It feels a lot better than being called a Big 12 homer, don't it?
Right, it does. But I'm thinking, like, dude, getting Ohio State out of the way is like great for us, because like now we still got Alabama and Ole Miss and Georgia in this thing, and we got Ohio State out of it. And it's like, dude, I feel like this is looking pretty good for us.
It's funny. It's making it funny. You got an echo.
You got to turn your
man, it's crazy. It does this every time there's three of us on here. Let me move my phone. See if that helps. Still echoing?
I talk. Yeah, my voice is echoing.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I didn't do that the other day. Damn it.
Well, we can just talk while you're talking. You can just mute it when we're talking.
You can just mute it when we're talking, I guess. But all I was going to say was that it sure is funny how they're making the SEC take each other out. Made Alabama and Oklahoma play. Now they're making Georgia and Ole Miss play. So,
yeah, that was kind of you know, that was low down. You know, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. But wouldn't it be funny if Ole Miss beats Georgia and we get Ole Miss Miami? That'd be pretty funny, man. That'd be pretty funny.
go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, I know, Outlaw, you was talking about that the other day, too, how cool it'd be to see Georgia and Miami play each other. And, I mean, dude, we might get that. Like, that might actually happen now. And did you see Carson Beck when they asked him about it? Like, that dude's face lit up. Like, you can tell he was pretty, like, honest and straight up about it, too. He was like, his face lit up, and he's like, yeah, I mean, I can't lie. I can't act like I haven't looked at the bracket and seen that, like, this could play out this way. And, man, dude, Miami, I ain't going to lie, they've impressed me. Like, not only winning against A&M, but this one here against Ohio State was huge. And, like, I have a buddy that's an Oklahoma State fan that's, like, he's one of them guys I was telling you about last night when I was talking to you whenever he's one of them guys like, oh, yeah, Indiana's going to smoke Alabama. And there was another guy, like even the TCU guy that's one of our buddies that was on the show last time I was on. He was like, yeah, I think Indiana's going to win it comfortably. And I'm like, dude, I don't see that. I don't know what, like, I think Alabama's going to have to play really bad for Indiana to just come in and win easily in this game tomorrow. Like, I'm going to be shocked if Indiana does show up and they do win it, because they haven't ever won a playoff game before. And now after what's happened with Ohio State, I have to wonder just how good is Ohio State and Indiana, you know? So what do y'all think? Y'all think them guys might be a little bit overrated at number 1 and number 2?
I just think they've been playing each other.
Yeah. There we go.
I just think
You got it muted. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I just think they've been playing each other, and everybody tries to go back to the Texas game. Well, you know what? Texas was breaking in a brand new quarterback on the road against the defending national champions. Just because his last name is Manning, they thought automatically that that Texas should be able to beat Ohio State. But even like I said earlier, Peyton Manning didn't do too well in his first season with Tennessee. Neither did Eli Manning. With that, to me, they've just been beating up on each other and running up their stats on each other, and the 7 or 8 teams at the bottom down there. What do you think, Killer?
I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat. Say that again. Ask me that again.
I think the reason why the Big Ten, why their stats are so skewed and why they're ranked in the top 10 and everything is because they've been beating up on each other. And they go back to that Ohio State game against Texas is what they always cling to. But Texas was breaking in a brand new quarterback on the road.
Yeah, and since beating up on each other in the Big Ten is not the same as beating up on each other in the SEC, because in the Big Ten, they're going to have several guaranteed wins because they're the top heavy.
What's it called in the NBA when they set you out just to set
Load management.
What's that?
Load management.
Load management. Big Ten does that shit in conference games because they got cupcakes built into their shit.
And dude, their schedule. I mean, their own actions give it away. They were sitting starters at the end of the year. You can't do that in the SEC. They were doing it so that they wouldn't get hurt because they had the luxury of playing people that they could beat without their starting, superstars, skill position players. So that's just, I mean, I can't take you seriously if you can sit your studs at the end of the year. That's ridiculous. But in the Big Ten, they only have to worry about 2 maybe 3 games a year in conference. I mean, really, if you're one of the top dogs, if you're Ohio State, how many tough games do you really have? Man, 2, 3, maybe 3. USC is a long ways away from being real good. So is Wisconsin.
Yeah, I got to give John Johns that. He messaged me and said, Tebow's up again, right? He's up by double digits again. I went over and turned on. I was like, oh, shit. He's like, I bet he blows it again. And sure enough, that son of a bitch blew it again, man.
Yeah.
Blew it again.
It's and by the way, they were all geeked up about getting Danton Lynn. That was once again, that was gonna be the next guy that Tebow brought in. It was gonna all of a sudden he was serious about defense. Well, first of all, Danton Lynn has already left USC and he's now the defensive coordinator in Penn State. He's not even there anymore. But it was clearly still a failure. Because like I have said a million times, it does not matter who they have at defensive coordinator. You could have 1985 Buddy Ryan calling your defense, and it wouldn't mean jack what if the head coach is Lincoln, I can't cook brisket Riley.
Well, Lincoln Riley doesn't do things that are conducive to help his defense. That's where he screws the shit up at. His offense just, I don't know, there's something about the way he runs things, man. It's just not conducive to having a good defense.
He's paranoid. He's awkward. He does not foster a camaraderie and a brotherhood. He's one of these private guys. He's whispering. He's the dude whispering in the ear in someone in a meeting. It's just like you want to punch him in the face. So and again, because he's so protective of his offense, they don't have a physical culture, man. They're not hard. They're soft. Hey,
I'm gonna go in here for about 10 minutes if y'all want to take it over for me for a little while. Just make sure you mute when you decide to let Killer Breeze respond to you. I'm going to go in here for a second.
Yeah. Hey, Sooner Cowboys actually, Johnny, I'm gonna read Sooner Cowboys' comment and then see what you think. Sooner Cowboys said, because we're talking about Tebow, that he did just land the #1 recruiting class in 2026. So maybe interesting in 1 or 2 seasons, or could flop like A&M's class did. What do you think about that, Johnny? I got some thoughts, but what do you think about it first?
Man, so I saw that he had the #1 class, and I could see it being a deal where like maybe 2 or 3 of them. I mean, these are true freshmen coming out of high school, and I could see it being a deal where maybe 2 or 3 of them can help them out. But I don't think that's enough for what they got going on, man. Like, I don't think, I mean, unless you get lucky and it's the best class ever in the history of ever. But I mean, if I had to bet money on it, I would bet on it being more like that A&M class you just mentioned, because I just don't see a bunch of them guys being able to make a difference right away. Like, and if he doesn't, and if you read the comments, and I'm sure you've seen some of the videos, the USC videos on YouTube, look at all the fans, dude. They're all pissed. Like, they're ready for this guy to be gone. And I think if they had enough money for his buyout, he would already be gone. And what was that? The quarterback that used to play at Notre Dame said it. And I know he's a Notre Dame homer, but I agreed with him when he said it. Brady Quinn, he was saying the same thing. Like, if USC had enough money to buy him out, they would have already done it. And I don't think it'll be long before that guy is the next head football coach at Florida Atlantic or Rice or North Texas, or maybe he'll be the offensive coordinator at Texas Tech or something. But yeah, I think if he don't make the playoffs and he wins, lose 4 games, 5 games next year, yeah, he's gone. And I don't know if that #1 recruiting class is going to be enough to make up the difference.
Well, he definitely, so far, you look at, you know, the good recruits he's had. I don't know that he's had any particularly great or high-ranked classes, you know, since he's been at USC. I think he's been like, you know, top 20, but I don't think he's really been top 10. But the good recruits, the highly rated recruits at least, that he did have in those classes, I don't think any of them ever really lasted. You know, I think the best player he's clearly had since he was there was the guy he took from Oklahoma, Caleb Williams, who really only had one good season there when he won the Heisman, and but still didn't have a great overall season in terms of, you know, winning anything team-wise significant. They didn't win the conference, and they lost their bowl game that year to Tulane, if I remember correctly. So, you know, so yeah, that's the big question is, you know, and then also, I could be wrong about this, but I thought I read somewhere or heard somewhere that that the way that they got this class was that they clearly overpromised, you know, what they're going to give these guys and what they're going to pay these guys. And so the real question is, does the class even stay together? You know, how much fallout, or is there any fallout? And if there is, how much is there from NIL that didn't come through? They've already had some of that. They've already had some of that already, you know. So I don't know how great their reputation is already with coming through on what they promise on NIL, but you know, from that's one of the things that I'm kind of watching is to see is that true? You know, is the NIL, is there fallout from that alone? But then on top of that, just, you know, like I was saying earlier, so far with Lincoln Riley, USC is where 5-star and high 4-star rated recruits go to die, man. They're not turning out. They're either leaving or they're just busting, you know. They had that, and it started off with the first class that he recruited, that, you know, who was also committed to OU, that Malachi Nelson kid, who last time I checked is starting for like UTSA or some shit, you know. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I don't expect it to stay together. Thunder said the Nagasaki egg roll team. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and dude, like you were saying, they probably bit off more than they could chew on the whole deal. Like that same thing, I heard people saying the same thing about A&M's class when they had that big class, and I don't know why. It's funny. As soon as I saw that, I thought of Texas A&M a few years ago, and it's funny that that's first thing you mentioned with that class. And I'm sure there is a lot of empty promises, and I'd be shocked if they keep it together. But I do think it's hilarious. And I know there's some OU fans that are like, oh, we don't care. Why are we still talking about this? And then there's fans like me and you where it's like, no, dude, we do care. It was like what happened and how he left, dude, and dipped out on us like that. Like, no, I do care. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. And so, like, us continuing to talk about this is for the guys like us that do care, and we are happy that we made the playoffs faster than he did. And I'm happy that he lost to TCU, and I'm happy whenever he blew it against Tulane in that other bowl game. But yeah, it's crazy, the missed tackles. Like, there was a USC podcast I was watching the other day, or it was either today or right after the game. And he said he tweeted out, and this is like the USC, locked on USC guy. And he was saying with like 4 or 5 minutes left, I guess he thought the same thing I thought. Like, hey, who knows, dude, USC, they've been known to blow this. Lincoln Riley, dude, let's see what happens. I know they're up 24-14 with 5 minutes left or 6 minutes left, but they've been known to blow this. And he said, man, I guess with like 3 minutes left, he tweeted out and said, this reminds me a lot of the Tulane game. And it's like, it's crazy. Even USC fans are starting to like pick up on these, like it's a pattern. I mean, it's a pattern. Like, and then what's crazy is, like you were talking about with Lynn, that defensive coordinator, he was badass at UCLA. Like, that guy was awesome. They had a top 10 defense. And I remember, like, I was kind of trolling USC fans, but I was also trying to like kind of ease the blow a little bit too. And I was saying like, dude, you got to understand, like, yes, Lynn's a good defensive coordinator, but when Mike Stoops paired up with Lincoln Riley, he was a good defensive coordinator until he got with Lincoln Riley. And Alex Grinch was a good defensive coordinator until he got with Lincoln Riley. And Lynn was a good defensive coordinator. Let's see what he does. Maybe he'll somehow like break through it, and maybe he'll end up continuing to be good. But somehow, some way, the common denominator is with Lincoln Riley. Somehow, some way, his defense misses tackles. They blow leads. Like it's the same thing. It's so predictable at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's wild, man. I was watching it. I'm like, man, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. They just blew another lead and lost another game.
By the way, 11 p.m. on the dot, Happy New Year. Sooner Cowboys just said Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. Eastern time. We are officially in 2026, which just, I got to tell you, dude, I was born in the early 70s, and the fact that it's 2026 just blows my effing mind. I don't understand. I don't understand why the time won't slow the F down. I don't get it. Why does it go so fast, Johnny?
I don't know. They say it goes by fast whenever you're having fun, and I guess you've been having a good time, and I feel the same way, dude. I was having some memories watching some of these games. Like every time I watch a bowl game that like OU's played in, it takes me back to that memory I have of when OU was in that bowl. And seeing the Rose Bowl, even though it ain't played until tomorrow, they were broadcasting from it, and I was having the memories of like OU playing against Washington State in there, and I was like, God dang, that was already 20 some years ago, dude. Like that was 02 or 03. Like I remember thinking like, God, dude, where's the time gone? Then the Orange Bowl, and then I was also watching the other one of the Cheez-It Bowl, which I was like, damn, that one was already like 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, I guess it flies when you're having fun. And I know like my grandparents and my great uncles and aunts, they always tell me like it gets faster and the clock gets faster and faster every year.
It does.
Outlaws back in the house.
Yep. Get you a nice New Year's Eve piss.
Or a BJ. You get a New Year's Eve BJ or a piss?
Not to sign off here first.
All right.
Don't want to get shut down for porno or anything. I got to see New York. It's 2026 in New York. I've always wanted to go to that thing, but I bet you it'd be hell getting up there, man, and getting all that shit.
Dude, you don't want to go to that. Man, that's miserable, man. I wasn't in Manhattan, but I was in Austin when it turned 2000, from 99 to 2000. And it was insane, shoulder to shoulder. It was miserable, man. It was absolutely miserable.
You was in New York?
No, I was in Austin.
Oh, Austin.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't in Manhattan. It would only be worse in Manhattan. I can't even imagine how much worse it would be. But I've been in Austin, and I've been in New Orleans and Houston for New Year's, and all three of them suck. I mean, there's just too many people, man.
I don't know if John Ritchie's talking about our channel, but he says it's crazy. I found this when I was 19. I will be 24 on Sunday. So we're raising these youngins right.
We try. We try, man.
Stick a little bit of that whiskey in the bottle, put them to sleep real good at night.
That's the trick.
They want to sleep good, man. Put some of that damn Jim Beam in there or something. So that damn honey.
What are you drinking tonight?
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't had any alcohol in about 8 months. I'm trying not to drink anymore. Because every time I tell you, every time I drink some tequila, sometimes I'd wake up and my heart would be pounding. So I'm like, man, I gotta quit doing that shit. So I guess I'm gonna have to try to maybe stick with something a little bit tamer, maybe some champagne or something. I don't know.
Hey, Outlaw, I got to ask you. So, after watching Ohio State against Miami, do you feel a little bit better about this Alabama-Indiana game?
Well, I'm hoping that all the upsets haven't been used up. Like I was telling Killer Breeze earlier, the top 4 buys are now 0-5. Everybody that's gotten that buy has lost. The 4 last year lost, and then Ohio State lost tonight, so that's 0-5. So you eventually they'll win, but I think it's because they just have too much time off, man. It's good to get healthy, but it's another thing to get rusty. Are you going to be rusty or are you going to be healthy?
And again, when you've never been there before, all that time off is even worse because you're just sitting back, hearing all the hype. You start believing your own bullshit. The next thing you know, you get punched in the mouth right when the game starts, and you never recover.
Dude, I could totally see that happening. Like, we were talking about that last time I was on. Like, are they going to be rested or rusted? And then like Killer Breeze just said, dude, you start believing your own press. Like, all you're hearing about, like that one guy, that video I sent you the other day where the guy's like, this is my lock pick. This is my 100% lock pick. I'm taking Indiana over Alabama. And I'm like, dude, I feel like they're disrespecting Alabama, the SEC. I feel like they're disrespecting my own team, Oklahoma. And I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, that's your lock pick? Like, I get it, dude. If you say, hey, man, I like Indiana. They play great defense. They run the ball. They got the Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback. The weather could be shitty. I think they might win. I would respect that, dude. But to say that is your lock pick and you feel 100% like great about that, man, it just blows my mind. And I could see it being a thing where Alabama goes out there, punches them in the mouth, and like you said, they don't never recover because they're not going to go play like it's not like they're playing Tulane their first game. They're going to be rusted. I don't know if they're going to be rested or rusted. But Alabama's going to come in there and punch them in the damn mouth, dude. Alabama just played, 10 days ago or however long ago it was, two weeks ago? And they just went into a really tough environment and outscored us 34-7. They're going to be ready. They got all their players back. They're going to get Alabama shot. And, dude, Alabama, I haven't looked at the roster, but if I had to guess, they have anywhere from 55 to 60 blue chip players on that roster. And Indiana, I mean, I don't know how many they got, but from what I've seen, they got a lot of 2 and 3, a bunch of 3 stars. They got a bunch of 3 stars up and down that roster. And they're going to play a team full of blue chip players, 50 to 60 guys on that roster. And that's just me guessing, dude. Hell, it may be 70, but I guarantee you they got at least 55 to 60 players on that Alabama roster that are blue chip players or better, 4 or 5 stars.
You know who has the number 2 recruiting class next year behind USC? It's Alabama. So yeah, they're doing just fine. The roster is just fine in Alabama.
Hey guys, I hate to cut it short, but my wife needs the bedroom and here to go to bed. She got to go to work in the morning, so I appreciate y'all jumping on with me at the last minute.
All right, my brother.
We'll get together again and maybe we'll have a little more time to hash all this out. Maybe tomorrow night. What do y'all think?
I'm down. I'll be around.
All right. We'll check y'all later.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, that was Killer Breeze, the consummate Oklahoma roughneck, and Johnny Johns, the best damn Van Halen cover band of all time, Next Halen. Check him out. But I'm going to get out here, guys. I've already watched the Happy New Year come in New York. Now I'm going to go watch it come in Tuscaloosa. Happy New Year. I appreciate all y'all being here and being loyal to the channel and helping me out. We're remonetized now. You can donate to the channel if you want to. But this was our 1,000th episode on New Year's Eve. We made it to 1,000 episodes. And I just, for better lack of term, man, I mean, I just hate to be so cliche about it, but, man, I couldn't have done it without y'all, man. And I appreciate the hell out of it. Roll Tide, Boomer Sooner, and KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now dismissed.